She's really fun and she's great to have conversation with, and she's an open book.
How's Shanna doing? Have you spoken to her? I know that she's obviously had a rough few days.
We've spoken a little just via text message and just let her know that I'm there for her. I just know she's really sad and I can't even imagine what she's going through, and my heart breaks for her. And I just hope that she's, able to heal and process all of the things that happened.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's such a scary situation. Did you end up meeting Matthew at the after party? And did you end up talking to Shanna about those DMs that he sent you?
I never actually talked to her about the DMs. I mean, she knew that it happened, and she said before all of this other stuff went down, she said, do you want to talk about it? And I said, it's up to you. Mm-hmm. If you're happy, I'm happy. And then all this additional stuff happened. Mm-hmm. And I did meet him at the after party. And I mean, he seemed fine there. It was a nightclub.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very hard to tell. Yeah.
Right. No, totally. Well, I hope that she's okay. And I'm glad that to hear that, she said that she was doing okay, because it's like we said, a really scary situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I hope she stays safe, and I hope he stays away.
Yeah, no, I mean, because it seemed like the two of you sparked somewhat of a friendship on there. I mean, what is it about her that you kind of gravitated towards?
She's really fun and she's great to have conversation with, and she's an open book. Mm-hmm. I love that it didn't feel forced or fake. Like, she really shares stories about her life, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like, she's open. And to me, anytime somebody's open and willing to share, it makes it very easy to connect with them. When you're dealing with a more surface person that only talks about fluff, it's hard for me to connect.
Yeah. Do you think Lamar has another chance with Chloe? I love, he's talking.
He is just the sweet. Like, he is the sweetest. I don't know. I hope great things happen from here for his career and all of these things. But sometimes you just have to go forward, and you can't go back.
No, totally. I know. It just kind of breaks your heart a little bit every time we spoke about her.
I know.
Overall, I mean, how would you say your experience was on the show?
I can say that Celebrity Big Brother was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Really?
By far. Because even though when you're watching the show, it seems like I was there a day, I was in 7 days of quarantine. And then that was my 12th day in the house. Mm-hmm. So that was, I'm not great at math, but that was a lot of time away from my family. Yeah. And then especially with no phone, no communication, it was very, very challenging.
Yeah.
But, I came home very appreciative for the life that I do have.
Was it nice in some way not to have your phone? Especially, I'm sure not when you have kids, it's probably not a nice thing to not have your phone, but was it nice to kind of unplug for social media for a little bit?
For sure. That part's great. Like, you really realize how much time you spend on your phone, whether it's with work or social media or anything, Wordle. But not being able to check in with my kids, the only way I could kind of compartmentalize it was to say, if something were actually wrong, they would have to let me know.
Right. Yeah, no, that's very true. I mean, do you see yourself being friends with any of the cast for a long time? And if so,
yeah,
who?
I do. I still talk to Carson and Cynthia and Shayna and Chris. I mean, I pretty much, I talk to a big portion of them.
Yeah. Who surprised you the most on the show?
Surprised me the most. I think in order to be surprised, I would have had to know who was going to be in there and then be shocked. But it kind of walked in and just everybody was a surprise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only person I had heard on the internet that was going to be there was Todrick, and that was correct.
Yeah, but I know that you mentioned that you gained some weight while you were in the house. Did you lose it all? Do you plan on losing it all? I mean, you look fantastic. You don't need to lose everything.
Thank you. It wasn't necessarily about the gaining the weight. I mean, I did gain the weight. I've probably half of it. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing for me was really just I wanted to go in and just fully experience everything. So whatever anybody cooked, whatever anybody did, I went for it. That being said, I felt myself very lethargic when I got out from having all the cakes and all of the things all of the time. I think there's a healthy balance. And I think I definitely went the opposite way just because there's nothing to do in there. I mean, even working out, I would do the elliptical every day or try to do like little little hit workouts, but you have no music.
That's tough. That is really tough.
You're just in silence, like hearing yourself breathe.
You're like, this is miserable. Do you ever regret being like open and honest with like weight gain, weight loss? Because, you know, obviously some people have a lot to say about that. And do you ever regret doing anything like that?
I don't, because ultimately when I didn't talk about it, it was the most unhappy I was because I held everything in. I developed a chip on my shoulder. And regardless if, you know, maybe it annoys those 6 people on the internet, but there's hundreds of people that are like, I feel you. And that happens to me as well. And thank you for sharing. It means so much to me because I thought I was alone or whatever it was. And I think the biggest thing, no matter what you're going through in your life, is to not feel like you're alone. It gives me peace.
Yeah, no. And it's so true. We all yo-yo, we all go up and down with our weight and things like that. And it's nice that other people are going through the same thing.
And I think also oftentimes fitness influencers and people like that are scared to share those types of things because then am I a failure? Did I let my clients down or whatever it is? But no, that makes you real. No, definitely. And plus it also holds me accountable. I know that I feel better when I'm not eating a ton of processed foods. When I'm drinking water and not Diet Coke, you know, like whatever it is, like I know. So in order for me to be a good coach or be a good person to them, I have to share my experience.
Yeah, definitely. Who is the best cook in the house?
Ooh, Carson and Cynthia. I mean, Carson and Cynthia pretty much cooked every meal and both of them are excellent.
Nice.
I'm really good at dishes.
Yes, same here. Did your dad finally figure out what Big Brother was?
I mean, he kind of always, I mean, he knew the second I told him, I explained it to him, but the first time he watched it was when I was on the show. And then him and my brother were watching the live feeds and when I came out, everyone was cracking up because my brother's favorite thing to do was to Insta story me sleeping.
I love it.
Like at night and be like, oh, there she is, crushing it.